Okay, so I'm meeting with Chloe. Chloe submitted her FAFSA in December and is trying to add Skyline to her FAFSA, right, Chloe?
Hmm.
Great. Okay, let me promote you to co-host so you can share, no problem. So if you want to share your screen, I can direct where to click.
Yes. Can you see my screen?
Yep. Um, so I wonder, did you try to make a correction on the 4th of this month?
Yeah.
What was that correction? Do you remember?
Um,
Was
I think
that
I'll try to, because I asked Albin yesterday about like how to submit the FAFSA to Skyline, and he just said like I just have to put Skyline as a school.
okay? So that's what you did 4 days ago?
Um, I don't I don't know actually. Let me
Let's
see.
see if we can review your answers. Give me 1 second. So you're going to be at Skyline for the entire year, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I do see it now. I think you did that successfully, actually.
Oh, really?
But we might as well click around since we're in here. So let's go. Can
Mhm.
we go up a little bit?
I actually think my mom tried to like fix it for me. So maybe that was what she was trying to do on the 4th.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I think I do see some indication that we've received it or are trying to load it in from FASA. Um, let's it doesn't look like we can actually review our answers from this page, right? When it's in a review status. It's not helpful. Can we
Submission.
click? Can you try clicking December 1 or no? Okay,
No.
so that's your first. Okay, no worries. So I do think your mom did that successfully, so that's great news. What I wanted to do is share something else with you because after submitting your thing, the next thing you need to know how to do is completing requirements and quote unquote completing your file.
Mhm.
It's an essential part to receiving your financial aid. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take back the screen, okay?
Hmm.
Um, I actually cannot find where to end oh, here we go. Great. So is this your first time at Skyline?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Welcome to Skyline.
Thank you.
Are you familiar with WebSmart?
Sort of.
Okay, no worries. Super easy to get familiar with it just by signing in and clicking
Hmm.
around. Specifically for financial aid purposes, when you sign into WebSmart, you'll want to click on the financial aid subtab, and then
Hmm.
you want to click. Oh, I can actually share all of this with you, so you don't need to take notes. This is
Okay.
all open access. Financial aid student portal, and then you'll see any open requirements like these, like anything in blue. You actually want to click in and read.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sometimes students forget to upload their high school or it, they didn't indicate that they completed a high school diploma or GED equivalent, but they actually have one, right? So all of these things are, common requirements.
Hmm.
Okay. So let me actually just drop this in the Zoom chat for you right now to use it as a guide. I mean, you might not have any requirements, but just in case you do, this is helpful to have.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right. Yep, you got it. Let me see. Hey, it didn't copy over. So you're trying to get into Promise. What else are you excited about Foothill or Skyline for?
I'm trying to do Skyline for 2 years and then transfer to hopefully a CSU or UC.
Okay,
Yeah.
sweet. Do you know what you want to study yet?
I'm in between engineering and nursing.
Okay. Let me since we're doing this, do you have mentors in either of those spaces?
Um,
In either engineering or nursing?
no. Actually,
Okay,
in nursing, I do have a mentor.
right on. Perfect. I hope you continue to seek out those relationships and connections because I think that they are absolutely essential
Mhm.
in having a rich education. The only thing I want to say about this, I encourage you to read this. I've done this project for over hundreds of students, just like I've helped over hundreds of students earn. and win scholarships. But
Mhm.
this project sits near and dear to my heart. Jeff Anderson was one of my math professors. I've done a ton of research with him and I published many different papers with him. But what makes me smile is I like this project, when I see students do this well, it changes their entire trajectory of their education and sometimes even their life. So you're still with me, right, Chloe?
Yeah.
So the short version, well, I just can't see, right? So I just got to make sure. And sometimes there's lag. Otherwise, I'm just talking to my screen, which is ridiculous. I already spent too much time doing that. Um, the short version of this, the is please read it and see what you can apply from it in your own educational journey, right? Because you're, one of the things I tell students is that they're richer than Elon Musk. Do you know why I say that?
No, why?
Because you have time on your hands, right?
Right.
And are you familiar with a guy named Warren Buffett?
No.
He's a famous investor. He's a billionaire. He has like a bunch of venture capital firms, etc. But like, if you were to ask Warren Buffett if he would want to trade spots with you, I'm pretty sure he would say yes because he's like 70 years old. So that's
Yeah.
the extreme, right?
Yeah.
Um, I actually don't know what he wants to say because I don't know what he values and et cetera, et cetera. But the whole point is, as you're thinking about how do you develop rare and valuable skills so that you don't have to worry about employment. Rather, you can do the projects you want to do in your life. This is a really powerful project. Okay.
Okay.
And the last thing I'll say is if you can hone in on your learning how to learn skills, sometimes it's called metacognition. In schools, we call it study skills, which is just a really bland kind of way to do it. And the way that it's taught is kind of like bleh.
Mhm.
Um, the point is, if you want more control and freedom as you get older, the sooner you hone on your learning abilities, the sooner you can actually have that,
Mhm.
right? No matter if it's in engineering, no matter it's in the healthcare space,
Yeah.
because it frees up bandwidth to do creative work, and with that creative work, will actually buy you out freedom and control and agency over your time.
Mhm.
And we don't teach this formally, right? Just like how we don't teach financial literacy.
Yeah.
But don't wait on someone to teach it. I would just carve out the time to read and apply that knowledge,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Because then you don't have to be 30 years old and say, I wish someone taught me.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Yes.
Cool. Right on. I hope to be one mentor in your journey here at Skyline. I have a lot more to say about financial aid.
Mhm.
Um, here's, I guess, the abbreviated letter of how to maximize your financial aid and understand it. I also dropped it in the Zoom chat.
Mhm.
Um, but the fact that you got it complete means that you're already one step ahead.
Okay.
Okay. So you have my email, right, Chloe?
Yes.
Sweet. Let me know how it goes. I know I'm recruiting a small cohort of people that want to engage in that
Mhm.
deep learning project. So if you are interested in that, please let me know. We'll meet
Okay.
once a week or once every 2 weeks to kind of just check in dialogue.
Mhm.
So just let me know, okay?
Mhm.
Thanks, Chloe. Please reach out
Of course.
if
Thank
anything
you.
else. You could email Promise that your FAFSA has been received and you know how to clear requirements as they come up, if they come up.
Mhm. I also have a question because when I registered for classes, they said like I'm at risk of being dropped and I have to pay like tuition fee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up. Let me check on that for you. Because we received some inkling of your FAFSA today,
Hmm.
you will be immune from being dropped, actually.
Okay.
The only outstanding balance I see on your account is $22.
Yeah.
This is from your student union and student body, student representation fees. So
Mhm.
let's actually take a quick look. Let me share, I'll share my screen again. It's important that we understand the differences between free college and financial aid.
Mhm.
I don't know why it's zoomed like this. Free college. Okay, free college program. I'm surprised there's no link here. Um, but the content of it is here. Okay, let me actually just get the link. So you've heard of this, Chloe, this
Yeah.
program?
Yeah.
Okay, right on, perfect. So um, level two is what we're talking. So The $22 comes from this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't come from material fees. Material fees are dependent on the classes that you take, right? Some people are cosmetology students and they have expensive kits,
Mm-hmm.
or auto technician students. I don't think you're in that boat, but you, it's likely, which is kind of unfortunate, that you will encounter a faculty member that will require paid book access or a actual physical book or some online code, right? So none of this covers that, but level two does help with the $22 from this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Level two also helps with these three things. They're known as the three T's: transportation, technology, and textbook support.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that transportation is $50 a month. I've heard technology is $500 for the year, technology that you have to purchase through the bookstore. And I've heard textbook support is $150. Now, these are separate from the three T's that Promise offers and the benefits that Promise offers. So they are stackable. The three T's that we're looking at from free college, you do have to redeem at the bookstore. It's a
Oh,
little too late. Just kidding. It's a little too early for you to visit the bookstore right now because we've just loaded in your FAFSA, so we don't know what requirements you might have,
mm-hmm.
and you certainly are not on their roster.
Mm-hmm.
So for future academic years, we encourage you to begin the application in October and finish before March, right?
Okay.
Because that's a good window. So that March priority deadline definitely applies if you are transferring.
Mm-hmm.
If you are transferring to a 4 year, but at a 2 year college, there is really no priority deadline, but the sooner the better.
Okay.
Okay. But
Mm.
this is the habit you want to get into because if you miss that March priority deadline for the year that you're about to transfer and the years that you're at a 4 year, then you're not going to be considered for state grants, which can be potentially $8,000 or more. Okay.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
um, so yeah, there's just a note about deadlines. So in terms of the $22, that's outstanding in your account right now. If I were you, I wouldn't pay that. I think it's likely that you'll get level two because you completed your FAFSA.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
We'll just like
So
wait on it.
yeah, you don't need to worry about the, hey, you're going to get dropped from your classes because you won't, because we have a FAFSA in your account now
Okay.
on your file. Okay. So I would
Mm-hmm.
just wait on it. I'm pretty sure the 22 will take care of itself because there should still be funds in level two at our district.
Okay.
So I would just check back on that and then make a note to visit the bookstore the first week or the first 2 weeks of your fall classes
Okay.
to inquire about the three T's.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and your promise mentors and staff and counselors can tell you more about that, but I'm pretty sure the recommendation would be what I just said, but you can verify with them.
Okay.
All right. The last thing I'll say, since I think I have your attention, is have you applied for scholarships before?
Um, I don't think so. I remember I was gonna apply to one, but um, like I was just like focused on finals, so I couldn't really like get to it.
Oh, got you. This is like maybe your senior year in high school?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. If you apply for one successfully for our academic year,
Mhm.
you would be ahead of me. I didn't apply until I was 2 years in at Foothill Community College before I went to San Jose State.
Mhm.
And even though I applied late and even though I didn't get a single dollar my first year I applied while spending 4 hours to apply, every single year after that I got more in scholarship earnings. Okay,
Um,
so scholarship earnings are different than financial aid. Your financial aid application does have potential for cash grants, right, depending on your financial situation and your family size. But scholarships are a whole game in and of itself. um, our internal scholarships at San Mateo Community College District will award anywhere from 300 to like 450 students, and usually only about 800 apply. So you can actually calculate the ratio there for yourself of how
mm.
many apply and how many get awarded. It's well worth your time. This past year, I think we awarded over 70% of applicants, of all applicants,
Oh
and
wow.
we awarded close to $500,000,
Oh
right?
wow.
Yeah, it's a ton of money. There's some big ones in there. I would say the average winner gets 500 to 1,000, right? But
Mhm.
for a 1 to 2 hour application, I think it's well worth your time. So I
Mhm.
would visit this page sometime in October. I'm sure I'll run scholarship workshops too. But the habit of scholarships is really powerful.
Mm,
Applying for scholarships. It does take time, right, away from our leisure,
yeah.
but it's the same habit when I try to take on internships or apply for research fellowships,
Hmm.
or even jobs. It's really a similar kind of habit. It's a similar muscle.
Yeah.
So it just so happens to be if you treat this one seriously, you can get paid as you're going to school,
Hmm.
right? There are people who routinely earn $1,000 a month. Um, in scholarship earnings, right? So the sooner you can build that capacity into your weekly schedule, the sooner you'll earn money from scholarships.
Hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, right?
Yes, I'll definitely check it out in October.
Okay. Nice. Um, any other things on your mind right now?
Um, Actually, I signed up for US history for one of my college classes, but for my AP exam, I took US history, like politics, and I
Mhm.
got like a 3. So, do I still have to take the US history class in college?
Um, I'll defer this question to an academic counselor. I think it depends on what schools you're aiming to transfer to. It's
Hmm.
likely if it's a top-rated CSU or UC that
Hmm.
I've heard enough times that it's still recommended that you take that course here because the weight of a college, community college class is higher than an AP class.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so from that standpoint, I think I would try to get that answer from your counselor and just do a little more
Okay.
research yourself. Um, but yeah, I know it's a tough question, right? Like students
Yeah.
are trying to transfer out on time and transfer out early in order to save money, etc.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they don't want to ruin their chances of being selected as a transfer student, right? So I would inquire with a counselor or two about that one.
Yeah, for sure. I'll ask my
Um,
counselor.
Yeah, but I do think since you're not going to be a history major, maybe there's some leeway there, right?
Hmm.
Um, but if you were telling me if it was like AP math or something and you're trying to do engineering still,
Yeah.
then my recommendation is for sure to just do the 2-year class here.
Okay.
Because if you do it well, then it should help with the foundation. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah. But doing a class well is not the same as getting a good grade in a class, as you may know.
Yeah.
So doing a class well requires even more like actually learning for yourself, right? Which is different
Mhm.
than learning for a teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to recap, the first link I dropped in the Zoom chat was this thing, right? To
Hmm.
navigate WebSmart in case requirements come up. The second link I dropped was the little pep talk around
The project.
the yeah, this one. And then I'm still recruiting, right? It's still open roster. I think it'll
Yeah.
fill up within the next couple of weeks. But if
Mhm.
you wanted to be in this cohort, please email me and let me know that you're interested.
Mhm.
But we'll focus on the Conquering College and the Get Paid to Learn. We can focus on navigating financial aid and scholarships.
Okay.
Okay. And then the third link was the financial aid money facts, right? I encourage you to read those. Um, Especially if you have a hard time sleeping at night, this is a great way to fall asleep.
Mhm.
It'll put you straight to sleep. But I promise you there's a reason I spent time writing this, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. So great. So glad that you actually we spoke today, Chloe.
Yeah. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Yeah, more to come, and then be on the lookout for the scholarship workshops that I'll host in the fall. Okay.
Okay.
Sweet.
Thank
Thanks,
you. Have
Chloe.
a nice day.
Bye.
Thank you.